Parashat Shemini. In this week's parasha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe and Aharon to tell Bnei Israel that basically they cannot just eat whatever is edible. Some things they're allowed to eat, and some things they're not allowed to eat. Now, why? The Gemara says, the Torah writes that don't eat certain things, venit metem bam. The Gemara tells you, why? Because don't read venit metem, that you should become impure by eating certain things. Read venitamtem. It's metumtam, in Hebrew, meaning a person that's a little crazy, but really the word, that's what we refer to. If you tell a person that speaks Hebrew, that's what he associates. But really metumtam comes from the word atum, closed. So the Torah is actually saying that food has an influence on a person. Some food has good influence, and some food has bad influence. So we see from here clearly that whatever the Torah does not allow us, it has a bad effect, a bad influence on ourselves. Now, if we look and we check what the Torah allowed and what the Torah did not allow. So we look at the allowed animals, and we find out that, interestingly, a cow, goat, a lamb, all those animals that the Torah allowed us to eat, they're very calm. They don't attack other animals. They don't eat meat. They just eat green. Versus other animals that the Torah did not allow. Most of them are eating meat, attacking other animals. They're not so calm. They're much more either active or cruel. You can't use the term cruel because really it's their survival. They don't do it out of cruelty, but nevertheless, their nature is to attack other animals, and therefore the Torah told us to not eat those animals. Now, to say that because of that we don't eat whatever the Torah did not allow us to eat, no, we are just bringing a reason and something, some idea to help us keep the law of the Torah. But we are keeping the law of the Torah because the Torah said so. So now, taking it a step forward, it is if we now know that the Torah tells us that non-kosher food closes the heart of the person and disconnects the person from the Torah, we know that doesn't mean what the Torah just said, don't eat a pig or a cat or a horse or a camel. It's everything that is not kosher. Everything that's not kosher includes even just eating out, whatever it could be. Pizza, I'm eating pizza only with cheese. It doesn't have anything on it. But we have laws. We have hachamim that tell us what's allowed, what's not allowed. If it's so okay, and really, let's think about it. If it would be just an extra something to do to not eat pizza or a salad outside in a non-kosher place, it's just extra. It's really, you can do it, but try to be strict. Most people that call themselves religious and they maintain religious life would do it. But interestingly enough, we see that not even one of them would dare do it. It is so clear to whoever wants to see that those things are not okay. But if you just open your eyes, how could it be that wherever you look, any religious community, anywhere in the world, none of them, no religious guy will dare, eating those things outside. And this is, again, a wake-up call for us. Sometimes you speak to a person and you see, it's already a habit, and it's very hard to stop. So we're here also to learn that, not only we should be careful on what we are putting into our mouth. Sometimes, it's hard. But nevertheless, remember, we have children and we have to pass the tradition on. And another thing that we can learn today, that perhaps for a person that is, hard for himself, okay, sometimes, you got into a habit, it's already working in a certain area, it's very difficult, this, that. But we should always look forward to growing, to get ourselves into a better situation. Just like anyone that comes into a new country, he will work very hard doing anything for his son to go to school and become a doctor. We want our children to do a little better than us. So therefore, at least when we go with the family or when we buy food for our children, make sure to leave their heart pure and provide them with food that has good influence, and that includes all things that are kosher, and try to avoid things that are not kosher. May our hearts be open to loving Torah, to being able to study Torah, understand, and also implement. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.